this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad.
Yeah.
Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad, chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back, I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me, ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact, give me one shot.
I'm the Global Runner and spring has finally sprung in Canada, so I'm going to be looking at some trail shoes and I'm going to do a shoe battle between these two shoes. First of all, the Nike Pegasus Trail 4, and secondly, the New Balance Fuelcell Summit Unknown. So I know what you're going to say. You're going to say these are two completely different shoes. This one's for road to trail and this one's for trail. And you're right, but there are a number of similarities between these two shoes which make them very similar in terms of people who are looking for trail running shoes as to which one to buy. Now of course, if you're running mostly on roads with a little bit of trail, you'd get this one, and if you're running mostly on trail with not many roads, you'd get this one. But the question that I'm going to be asking is, which is the better shoe? If I could only buy one trail shoe, which would I buy? In terms of similarities between these two shoes, there are a lot of similarities. Let's start with price. Firstly, the price for the Pegasus Trail 4 is 180 Canadian dollars, and the price for the New Balance Summit Unknown is $160. So similar in price, although this one is $20 cheaper. And you can actually get this a lot cheaper now because the version 4 is coming out and this is version 3. In terms of similarities, they both have a 10mm drop. This one has a 30mm stack in the back and 20mm in the front, which is less than the previous version which had 36 and 26, and this seems to be Nike going away from the maximal shoes with respect to trail running, presumably so they can introduce the Ultra Fly later on in the year. This one also has a 10mm drop. I wasn't able to find the stack heights, but they do look very similar in terms of the stack heights for both. This one maybe has a tiny bit more. So in terms of drop, very similar. In terms of foam, the Nike shoe has the Nike React foam. You can see it there. This is a good foam which has enough stability, enough stiffness in it, but still having a little bit of give. I've really enjoyed this foam on other shoes, and I've had no issues when I've been running with it on the trails. It's the sort of foam that doesn't need a rock plate, and this doesn't have a rock plate. The New Balance foam is the Fuelcell foam, which is like their super shoe foam, and this has a bit more squish to it, although still a ton of stability. Interestingly enough, this does have a rock plate in it. I think the rock plate is here where this sort of circular diagram is. Both of these foams are very good foams and ones that you'll enjoy getting on with. They're not too squishy on the trails, and they'll provide enough protection for any stones that are underneath your foot while you're running on the trails.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad, chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast.
We'll start off with the Nike Pegasus Trail 4, which are 312 grams or 10.97 ounces. And then the New Balance Fuelcell Summit Unknown are 10.65 ounces, which are 301 grams. So similar weights for both of those. But the winner in that category is, by a hairbreadth, the New Balance. In terms of grip, well, that depends where you are going to be running with them. This has the better grip on the road. This has the better grip on mud, and you can see that the lug depths are different. There's fewer lugs here, but the depth is deeper on these, and there's a lot more lugs on this one, but the depth is a lot shallower. I wasn't able to find the stats, but these look like 3 mils and these look like 5 mils. So if you're running on muddy terrain, this will always be the winner. If you're running on hard packed trails, I'd say this one is more likely to be the winner. In terms of comfort, they're both very comfortable shoes. I have no problem in either of them. I think the step-in comfort and the long-term comfort does go to this shoe though, to the Nike shoe. This is a shoe that I could walk around in all day and have no problems. So the step-in comfort goes to the Nike shoe. The uppers are very different on both of these. The upper on the Nike Pegasus Trail 4 has got a double layer, and it's got like a mesh on the top. Super comfy, super flexible, and I've had no issues with that at all. Actually quite a wide shoe for a Nike shoe. The upper on the New Balance shoe, I mean, it's a narrower last to start off with, which is interesting because Nike are normally much narrower, but this is the narrower shoe in my view. It's only got one layer of foam, but this foam is super thick. And the one issue I've had with this shoe is drainage. Like if you get this shoe wet, it stays wet. So it's an interesting choice of upper, particularly for hotter weather. I think your feet could get really hot in this quite quickly, which wouldn't happen with the Nike shoe. So in terms of upper, I've got to say the winner is the Nike. So overall, these are both great shoes. If you picked either of these, you wouldn't have a problem. If you were mainly doing road with a little bit of trail, you'd pick the Nike Pegasus Trail every day. If you were doing mostly trail and a little bit of road, you'd pick the New Balance every day. And they're both great shoes. I don't have a problem recommending either. But if I could only have one shoe, I'd pick this one, the New Balance. This is designed as a trail shoe. The Pegasus Trail 4 is designed as a road to trail shoe. Interestingly enough, I think the Pegasus Trail suffers a little bit from being too similar to this shoe, which is the Pegasus 39. Now, of course, they're designed to be very similar shoes. This is the road version and this is the trail version. But when you look at the two, they're both similar weights. They have very similar grips. Like the grip on the road version, the Pegasus 39, is actually quite impressive or aggressive, whichever way you look at it, for a road shoe. And when you compare it to the grip on the Pegasus Trail, there's not a ton of difference. So if I were only to pick one pair of trail shoes, I would pick these, which are the proper trail shoes for running actual trails with technical stuff, and I would pick these for road and the hard pack trails. This is a great shoe, don't get me wrong, you can't go wrong with this, but I think it suffers from being too similar to the Peg 39. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have had experience in any of these shoes and whether you've liked them, whether you agree with my assessment or whether you disagree with my assessment. Let me know as well what other trail shoes you're going to be trying this season. I'm really interested in the Ultrafly. I didn't enjoy the Hoka Tecton X, but there are other trail shoes out there. I tried on the Normal the other day, which I wasn't a massive fan of, but let me know what trail shoe you're going to be rocking this season. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to mash the like button, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.